Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in today. In this video today, we're going to be telling you how to run an effective Fiverr business while not driving yourself crazy or working way too hard and way too long on gigs that are really only making you $4. So basically I got 4 tips for you guys today. So you want to start a Fiverr gig, right? The first thing you want to do is play to your strengths. If you are good at graphic design, sell logo gigs, or I'll design a slide for your Fiverr gig, or I'll design cover photos for your YouTube videos. Play to your strength. If you got the gift of gab, if you can talk, if you enunciate, if you speak clearly, you communicate well, do promotional gigs or spokesperson's gigs where you can be the person talking on someone's video, walking somebody through an order process, things like that. If you're good at programming and things like that, if you can write a script pretty quickly, write PHP scripts for people or something like that. The possibilities are endless, but play to your strengths and play to things you enjoy, and that way this will actually be a business that you do enjoy. Number 2 is the type of gigs you offer. Now, I don't want to say don't do gigs that are open to interpretation, because some people make a killing with that and do really well, and maybe your strengths play to that area. But here's what I mean by that. Let's say you offer a gig for a logo. I make, you offer a gig for a logo, I buy your gig, and I say, okay, make me a logo for my landscaping business. So you make a logo, and I say, I don't like that. So then you make another logo. Oh, I sort of like that, but can you change this picture and change this font and add this color? And when everything's said and done, you wind up doing 5 different versions. You wind up spending an hour and a half on it, all for $4. Is it really worth it? Same thing with a lot of video gigs and stuff like that, whether it's video creation or even spokesperson type stuff. So, oh, you mispronounced this, can you remake the video? Oh, you forgot to say this. Oh, I didn't think of this, but can you also say this? And basically it just turns into doing a lot more work and having to redo the gig a number of times. I really like gigs that take a couple minutes. Ideally, I like to be making $1 a minute. So on a Fiverr gig, you get to keep $4 after Fiverr takes their cut, so you're making $4. Can you do your gig in 4 minutes or less? I'm not saying you have to do that, but ideally you probably want to be able to do your gigs in 10 minutes or less, unless it's something you truly enjoy and it's a hobby and you really don't mind spending the time and not making money that is really worth your time. So that's just something to think about. Gigs that are really crisp and clear and don't really require revisions are something like, I'll ping your website to over 1,000 sites. That's pretty clear cut. There's no, oh, can you rechange this? Can you do it differently? Either I pinged your website or I didn't. There's a lot of gigs, I will tweet your message to my 50,000 Twitter followers. Either I tweeted it or I didn't. There's, the person provides you the message, their 140 characters. So there's no, you tweeted the wrong message. You told me exactly what to say. I said it. The gig's done. Those are the type of gigs that I like to do. A lot of times you wind up with buyers who are never happy, and then you wind up having to cancel gigs, which negatively affects your account, or you wind up doing hours worth of work for $4, which really isn't worth it. This isn't the purpose of this video, but while we're on this topic, I will mention a lot of people get into Fiverr thinking, okay, I'm going to land these gigs for $5 and try to get these people off of Fiverr. First off, don't do that. It's not cool to Fiverr. Fiverr, the business of Fiverr is to hook up buyers and sellers. When you guys start doing gigs off Fiverr, you're cutting Fiverr out of the equation, which, granted saves you $1, saves the buyer $1, but you're really doing a disservice to the Fiverr community and things like that. And also, most buyers aren't going to transit. I know a lot of eBayers and Amazon sellers like to get people off that platform so they're not paying the fees. With Fiverr, it really doesn't work that way. Why would I go pay $50 for you to design me a logo when you and 100 other people do it on Fiverr for $5, right? It just doesn't make sense. Very rarely are you able to get people off Fiverr to buy your gigs, so I'd recommend not even buying with that, and don't even keep that in your plans because it's probably not going to happen. So far we've touched on play to your strengths and a type of gigs you're going to be offering. Next we're going to talk about giving clear instructions to your buyers. Don't just say, okay, tell me about what you want your logo made or send me your website. Get people to give you what color they want it to be. If they have a photo or a design or a clip art piece they want included in the logo. Get them to provide you examples of things that they like. I buy a lot of design gigs, and sometimes early on I'd go to buyers and I'd say, go to sellers and I'd say, I like your work. I'm leaving it up to your creative freedom. And they come back with something I hate. And can I really blame them for that? Because I said do whatever you want. They did whatever they wanted, and I'm not happy with it. So what I've learned is unless you've been working with a seller for a while and they know your business, know your style, know what you like, I wouldn't tell people just vaguely, run with it. Once you've worked with someone a number of times and they know what you like, cool. If you do want to tell people, I like your work, I'm not really creative, I don't know colors and stuff, I'll leave it up to you. At the very least, provide them with some examples of things that you like so they can get an idea of the type of fonts you like, the type of colors, how things are laid out, the style, all that type of stuff. So be as descriptive as possible for your buyers. And even then, a lot of buyers aren't going to give you all the information you need. I actually just recently revised one of my gigs, and I specifically said, do not just send me a link and tell me, here's my competitor, run with it. I said, you need to provide me with a product you want me to research, a niche, a keyword. You have to provide me with the term you want me to search. And people still, even though I specifically say, give me a specific thing, people will just send me a link. Here's my competitor. Pull some data for me. And they give me no instruction. Their competitor might offer 110 different products. How am I supposed to know which one of those products they want me to search? And I'm not about to research 110 different projects and turn this $5 gig into a 10 to 15 hour project. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it. So be specific and expect people still not to provide you with the details you need. But at least, up front you said, here's what I need from you. And if people don't provide you the details, I know it's, you want to get gigs done and you want to do stuff like that, but it's really better to follow up with people and say, look, I'm really going to need some more details from you, because otherwise you're going to have people who are unhappy with their gigs. They're either going to be leaving you negative feedback or they're going to be canceling their gigs. Let's see, and last and number 4, under promise and over deliver. There's a lot of, I've had pretty good experience on Fiverr. Just in general, there are a lot of complainers out there. And people want to feel like they're getting a bang for their buck, even if they are only spending $5. People don't want to feel like they got screwed or take it or they didn't get their money's worth. So I always try to under-promise and over-deliver. If I say I'll tweet your message one time to my followers, I'll probably wind up tweeting it 2 or 3 times. If I say I'll make a 3-minute video gig for you or promotional gig or something like that, I'm probably going to supply you with 2, maybe even 3 different versions. Once I'm kind of in a flow, I can pump out a couple videos pretty quickly. I make 3-minute videos that took 9 minutes of my time. I'm able to provide 3 videos. Chances are the buyer is going to like one of those 3 videos and they're not going to be coming back to me for 3 more revisions. I feel like if you go above and beyond and do a good job and provide a good service, even if someone doesn't really like the direction you took the gig, they're not going to refund it. I was also going to make a follow-up video stating how to be a good Fiverr buyer. And I'll save most of that for the next video, but I just want to comment on this really quickly. So if I'm a buyer on Fiverr, if someone puts in a legitimate effort, I typically won't ask for a revision. I might ask for 1 revision, but if someone puts in a legitimate effort and I know they spent time on it, I typically won't ask for a revision, and I almost never ask for my money back. The only time I ask to cancel a gig or ask for my money back is if somebody clearly put no time and no effort into it. I'll give you an example. For a client of mine, I was making a logo for a landscaping company. Now, they provided me the name. I was very detailed with the buyer or the seller in terms of what I was looking for, what I wanted the logo to look like, the colors, everything like that. I said I basically wanted something very clean, simple, something that's going to be easy to print on business cards, pens, on a truck, things like that. Not a lot of detail. And what does this seller provide me with? A semi-truck, like very bad clip art semi-truck with, the company name underneath. And I'm like, serious? Like, that clearly was, this guy basically went to clip art, typed in the, landscaping or labor, whatever. The first image that popped up, he took it, slapped the name under it, and called it a day. And to me, that was totally unacceptable. I'm not running a truck. Even if I was running a trucking company, this would have been a terrible gig. But I'm running a landscaping company, and you're going to provide me with a very poor picture of a semi-truck that's highly detailed and then slap my logo under it. I mean, that's totally unacceptable. I canceled that gig. I didn't feel bad about it. But most of the time, if I ask someone to make me a banner, I may ask for 1 revision. If they come back with a revision, it's still not something I like, I'll just, $5 out down the drain. It's not a lot of money. It's a loss of $5. I at least know that they put some effort in and some time in, and I'm not going to have them working an hour to make $4. Okay, you gave me 1 good chance. You gave me 1, good effort. You tried to revise it, and I'm still not happy with it. Fine, we'll call it a wash. At the very least, maybe I can take an idea of his and hand it over to the next seller. So these 4 tips are going to help you run a Fiverr business, make money on Fiverr, and not overwork yourself or drive yourself crazy. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. If you have any questions, about getting on Fiverr, buying or selling anything, leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in.